Hello, Bimpe. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Jam, for having me.
Good to see you. So the essence of this
Thank you.
call, the essence of this review session is to get a sense for how the coaching has impacted you. And so I'll be asking a couple of questions because I'm hoping that as we share, many more people are trying to decide whether or not getting a coach is good for them. Hopefully they can make that decision fast.
Absolutely.
That's why we're having this session. So yes, to start off, let us meet you. What's your name and what role are you in? You can mention your organization if you want to. If not, your name and role is fine.
Okay, all right. So my name is Adebimpe Popoola, and I'm a human resource professional, and I currently work as part of the human service delivery team with Microsoft Nigeria.
Bragging rights or what?
It's bragging rights.
Very bragging rights. Okay.
You know how we got there. So let us say it.
Okay. So at what point, did you decide you wanted to get a coach and why?
I've always wanted a coach all my life. And it's okay to say that I feel like maybe I'm one of the few people that always need the help of somebody to get direction. And when I was coming from a legal background, I knew I didn't want to practice law, and I knew that what I wanted was to manage people. So that was a defining point for me because I didn't know how to go about it. So coming out of law school in 2018 and 2019, I mean. And when I knew for a fact that being a lawyer in the legal practice, it's never going to work for me. So that was a defining moment for me. And I remember you were the first person I ever spoke to at your emotional intelligence class that I won from LinkedIn. So you see.
Wow. It's been quite a journey. Yeah. Wow.
It is a journey. It is actually a journey.
And I love the progress you've made. So yes, we're already, alluding to my next question that, so why did you decide that you wanted to work with Jam? At the point you decided you needed to get a coach, how did you conclude that Jam was that coach that you needed to get?
Okay, so after the session I had with you in 2018, I knew that I started following your LinkedIn. And I think fortunately during that period, I got my first ever professional role. And I think I did not keep in touch for a long time. I actually did not keep in touch, but I always saw you. I saw you on LinkedIn. I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on Instagram, especially because every other day you were always having a speaking engagement. And the honest truth is I always follow through. Like I read up on what you say and everything like that. But the point where I knew that I needed to meet you again was this year, actually. It was this year, right? And that was the point where I got to a point where I knew that I needed somebody to help me because I was becoming redundant where I was at that point, and I knew that I needed guidance. And it was not a case of thinking a long time to see who can help me. You were there, you've been there in my face every time. So I knew that if I needed guidance, I could always run to you. And that was I just slid back like the prodigal child that I am. I'm like, I'm back. I'm sorry. It's not okay for me to say because I came in like the prodigal child that left and came back. So yeah. It would have always been you, to be honest. So it is not, and it's not even me patronizing you. It would have always been you because you're literally and let me just tell you this as well, to be honest with you, Jam. I remember I was speaking to another senior HR person that I respect in the space, and he actually told me to create a success profile. I did speak to him 2 days ago, and my success profile was your profile. He sent it back to me. So I remember when I was speaking to him, like he has always been a friend, a senior friend. So he always checks up on me and everything. So there was a time he told me and said, do you even have a success profile of what I wanted to do? I was like, I don't know, but there's somebody that I always looked up to. And he said, okay, so let me know who your success profile was. I can share it with you after this session. and I just type it on one document. You are my success profile. So I had to go to your LinkedIn to see what you do, because everything you do, and everything you're doing is things that I want to do. So yeah, I promise. I still have I'll forward it to you. So yes.
Like you are my clone. You are trying to clone me.
It just clicked in my head. Oh my God, yes, it is Jam actually. Yeah. So you are my success profile. Yeah.
Wow.
So there was no doubt about it that you were going to be my career coach if I wanted one.
This is another level. Wow.
Yeah. I will share it with you after. But yes, you were. It was just on a one-page document. And
I like to see it. Okay.
Yes.
So my next question is, so since you started this career development coaching program, with me, what 3 key things have you learned so far that have really stood out for you? What 3 key things have you learned?
Okay, so the first one would be doing it anyways. And it is as simple as that, doing it anyways. I see how you do it anyways, like you do it so effortlessly. And it's always a question of, and as you're also aware, I'm sure we had a deep conversation about, where I was at the time. And I just did it. And that was why when I was seeking that next role, when I knew the opportunity was coming, there was no other person to talk to than you. And again, you told me, you said that you would take it on. Even I was like, am I sure? Like, I cannot do it though. You said you would do it. So it is just doing it anyways and just going for it. That's one key thing. Actually, I would not say that's, okay, it's a key thing. I think it's 3 key things, right? And the second one is, Jam, either you like it or not, the confidence that you exude is something that I've really taken away. And to be honest with you,
are giving me goosebumps, so I have to be doing like this.
To be honest, and see, it is very. There are things that are very that I can give. I can give examples, and they are very. You will definitely see. So, the confidence you exude, because I see when you post about your speaking engagement. That is not my forte. I'm not the person that wants to put myself out there. I panic. I deal with a lot of panic and anxiety because I always question if I would ever be enough or would make sense to other people. And I've seen you on a couple of occasions where you said you want somebody to join you in speaking engagement, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I have an understanding of it, but I'm like, I'm not doing it. But I remember the last one you posted, I just said, you know what, back to doing it, and I just said, I can't do it, I am doing it. So that was it. So that's something. And you don't even understand I was in the Eurofair that I was after that session, Jam. It was, and when I got the plague from the guys, it might be little to other people, but to me, I sent it to everybody. I sent it to all my circle. And it was just a reassurance that my self-esteem is getting better and better. So yeah, so
thank you for showing up.
Absolutely. Thank you for that platform.
See my plaque.
Look at your, I cannot wait to have mine like that.
Many more.
Amen. So that's the second for me. So the confidence, and also the last thing for me will be adding value. Jam, you say it for every of your engagement that I get on, you emphasize on value. And that's something that, so prior to even meeting you, I always tell people, like, the catalyst for me being in this profession is 2 things. I don't want to go hungry because I don't want to go broke. But the second one is I want to bring value. So for every organization I go to, it is very important for me. I want to leave and let them feel my impact in a positive way. And that is something you always emphasize, like, come with yourself, come with your value, be exceptional. You always use the word exceptional. And that's something that I live by. It is one of my core values, delivering value. And I had a meeting with my direct report from Egypt last week because he was going on leave. And part of the things he said was, the feedback he gave me was my tenacity, the fact that I'm always on top of things, being proactive, and I'm sure he's always wondering, like, who is this girl? Because I'm always like, can we do this? Can I start doing this? Even before it's time for me to do it. So that is something that I take up, because I know that you are also looking out for your mentees, for the people you are coaching. You want us to excel. So there's so much that you can do, Jam. There's so much you can do, as more that we can do for ourselves. So it will be a thing of pride for me to excel where I am, and you would always be part of that story. And so when I'm moving to that next career, I know that I've earned it because I've given value where I am, and it just pushes me to where next I need to be. So those are the key things that I've learned from you, and there are things that I've always lived by. So yeah, so that's that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Humbling to know. And this bit about self-confidence, I'm happy to hear it, because I teach emotional intelligence, and I always preach self-awareness. We need to be comfortable in our skin. We need to know our strengths and our weaknesses. We need to know how to harness our skills, what makes us tick. Because, like one of my coaching clients, when we had a session, she said, the way I come across, I know that I'm a bag of chips and more. And I'm like, yes. Now, I won't rub it in everybody's face and make them uncomfortable now. Yep. But I am comfortable sharing my awesomeness with the world. And it's back to my model of emotional intelligence. Know your magic, own your magic, bless others with your magic. Absolutely. And for me, it's really humbling to know that the things that I show you guys when it comes to coaching, the things that I help you guys do, they are things that I'm replicating from my own career. Yoruba people will say, the person that wants to make you a cloth, check what the person is wearing. So for me, my career is a testimony of all these things we're talking about. And each time I see you guys, because you see, coaching transformation will take place when you allow transformation happen. Some people sign up for coaching, they are not ready to allow for that transformation. So for many of you I've been having this conversation with, I am even very humble to know that all those things that look like we are gisting during the coaching session, because we are practically gisting.
Absolutely. They are just released. They are gems as well. They are gist and gems.
Absolutely. And then of course, transformation is taking place. So I have one last question for you, and it's that, so for someone struggling with their career, what advice would you give such a person? And maybe such a person is not sold out on idea of getting a coach. What advice would you give someone who is obviously struggling in their careers, but they don't think they should get a coach?
How do you want if the struggle is like this, if you get a coach? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know, except maybe there are constraints financially, which is also a factor that we need to consider. I'm a huge believer in what they say about one tree doesn't make a forest. You need people to guide you, even if you cannot afford a coach, so to speak. For somebody that I would say you need to speak up, you need to connect, you need to build networks, you need to do research as well. So except you're saying that there's a financial restraint that would not make it to afford a coach, because I also tell people see, I believe in paying for people's services. So if I'm going to get value, then charge me for it. You know what I mean? But we cannot also not overlook the fact that not a lot of people can afford, a certain things. But in that, if it is an event that you cannot afford, it's very simple. Connect. Go on as much speaking engagement as you can. When you see, there are a lot of materials we have right now, a lot of resources that we can leverage on, you know what I mean? And also work towards getting a mentor. I know, I don't think are you my mentor? Are you my mentor? I don't know. I think I'm my sister. I'm sorry. I think you're my sister.
Everything. I'm everything.
You're everything. Okay, so you're everything. So for somebody that cannot afford it, I would say do your research, keep connecting with people, and you also host a lot of free events, free engagements, and you can leverage on that. But if you can afford it, my dear, go for it. You will get value. You would get overvalue. It is that simple. Honestly, I remember when you had your rate change, and which you should. I did not think twice. Okay, it was okay. We'll pay the new rates
because you came late.
I came late. One, then I also saw, like, it was literally a week to our conversation that the gig came around, right? And what more coincidence do you need? Like, let's even leave the coaching aside now. When you speak to somebody and their spirit just helps you to grow and all of that, you should be able to pay for whatever they are charging. So if you can afford it, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend, with jam, of course. I don't know about other people.
I like to say that I'm the coach of superstars.
That's that.
And that means all my coaching clients are superstars, thriving in their careers. You know, I was sharing earlier that I've spoken to about 6 people, and all 6 of you have changed jobs this year. All 6 of you have gotten new jobs. Yes. And you know, we're having our hangout coming up. And because of that hangout, we will share. And for me, like,
just look at that. Like,
very humbling. Very
that
humbling.
Is the testament. That's one testament that you need.
You know when you just sit down to really calculate and try to articulate that, how many people have I coached? How many have changed jobs? Because we're having this coaching transformation, it's getting very, very, very vivid and very tangible.
Glaring. It's very glaring for you. And you're like,
the more.
No, that is all that you need. Yeah. It's good. And it is not just even about the face value. You're very, very invested in the people, except for, I know for sometimes I don't even reach out and you reach out and you check in with me. And I also feel like it is much more than just helping people professionally as well, because everything is not about the profession. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I remember I called you, just started telling you, like, I feel this way. You're like, you're not going to feel that way. This is how we are going to feel. So it is very encompassing for me, and you embody all of that. And if you tell you enough, thank you. They say, you know what they say, like, give people their flowers when they're alive.
I know.
So that's basically what we're doing. We're giving you flowers.
You guys are giving.
Don't cry.
I'm so emotional.
You deserve it.
I'm just grateful to God for the opportunity to work with you guys and truly transform your career journeys. Is a very, very humbling reality, honestly. And for me, it's beyond it's not the money that people pay. It is that I want to see you truly succeed. And like I said, see how I am doing in my career. I see all the grounds I'm breaking. I see all the amazing things that is happening in my career journey. I want that for everybody else. Of course, for as many people who want it. You know, so thank you so much for.
And it's very Jam. It's very. You're welcome, Jam. And it's very rare. It's very rare in this industry. It's very rare to find somebody that wants other people to shine. It's very rare to find people. Just so that you know that I always follow your post back. You posted one time about somebody getting a gig that is even higher paying than yourself. And you were still rooting, like you still posted it. That speaks volume. Not a lot of people want that, you know. Trust me, we don't want to give away to those experiences. You've seen people who ask and be like, oh, you just have 2 or 3 years experience in HR. Doing this. You know.
No, we don't move that way.
You know, but you're always from the positive end. All you care about is the positive. Yeah, so it is who you are, Jam. It is who you are. It is your personnel. So you can say it is the profession.
Something I learned from Jack Welch. There's a video of Jack Welch I came across some time ago that talked about the role of a leader. And he said, be the chief meaning officer, give meaning to the work people do. He said, be the chief groomer, groom away as a leader, sweep away the things that can hinder the quality work that people try to do. And the third, he said, have generosity gene. And I learned it in 2019, and I've held on to it ever since. And he said, have generosity gene. The last one is, yes, the last one is be the chief fun officer. Always make sure that there's a reason to have fun in the office. Bring cake, bring ice cream, just create a really enabling environment.
That is who you are.
Now, the number 3 stood out for me, and I've sort of made it one of my life goals. You know, having generosity gene. And that's like, be okay with seeing other people succeed. Them succeeding does not hinder my success. Yeah. I don't even have that mindset. All of us can win. All of us can have stakes. Everybody can win.
Yep.
Yoruba people will say the sky has multiple birds flying at the same time, and they are not jamming themselves. They are not crashing. They're not saying that one bird jam one
There's
bed
no
in the
accident.
hotel, there's no accident in the sky. So that's my mindset. And that's what I tell people. Have generosity, Jane. If I have what it takes to help you land your dream job, make a recommendation for you, open you up to my network, and it will work for you, I am glad to do it. You know, and that's one thing I'll preach for anybody watching us. Have generosity, Jane. Be okay with seeing other people succeed. And one thing I've also found over the years is whatever you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. I think it was Mike Muller or Miles Monroe said it. So whatever you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. So I am not afraid to open doors for people. I'm not. Because the people that will open my own doors, they are right
so cool.
So
they're there, absolutely.
I will not say, oh, I don't want you to succeed. I always tell, even coaching, after I got my certification in career development coaching, I've told other HR people who are close to me, who want to go on that journey, I told them the course I took.
You get it.
Because I cannot coach everybody. No matter how fantastic I am as a coach.
No.
I cannot coach everybody. So why not just have more?
And your people will be your people. Multiple people. Your home people will come.
We're not
your own people will come.
We are self-aware.
Absolutely.
Have a healthy dose of self-awareness. So we're not afraid.
It is not healthy.
So
thank you. Are we coaching already? Are we back to one of our sessions already?
It's looking like one of the sessions. But I must say, thank you very much, Bimpe, for sharing. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Thank you to everyone who is watching this. And I hope that from Bimpe's story, you see that if you're ever contemplating getting a coach, you should reach out into chat.
The blog.
So send a DM to Workplace with Jam send a DM to Workplace with Jam on IG, or send us an email at workplacewithjam.com. at workplacewithjam@gmail.com. I was mixing that up. And please do well to reach out. Reach out to me via LinkedIn. My name on LinkedIn is Jumoke Aleoke-Malachi, in bracket Workplace with Jam. I am the brain behind Workplace with Jam. I'm a career development coach. I'm an emotional intelligence specialist, coach and trainer. I am an agile coach. I am a HR practitioner. I am a diversity and inclusion advocate. I'm a woman of many, many parts. So thank you so much again, Bimpe, for doing this. And for everyone who is watching, like I said before, I hope that this inspires you and encourages you to go on that journey and sign up for career development coaching so that we can take your career from good to great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jam. Take care. Enjoy the rest.